Welcome to the Insurance Marketing Organization podcast, where financial services marketing expert Seth Green interviews IMO experts, executives, and top producers to share can't-miss tips on how they successfully manage their IMOs, grow their businesses, create great relationships, and influence the industry. And now, here's your host, Seth Green.
Welcome to the podcast. This is your host, Seth Green. Today, I've got the good fortune to be joined by Dennis Moseley-Williams of Moseley-Williams.com, one of only two certified experience economy experts working in the financial services industry globally. Dennis, thanks so much for joining us.
Seth, thanks for the invitation, my friend. How's your summer?
Fantastic. Let's go back in time a little bit. How did you get started?
So 1,000,000 years ago, I was minding my own business. And I got a telephone call from a buddy of mine who was a financial advisor, okay? And he said, hey, if I buy you dinner, you're good with people, basically. You're good with people. I'm bad with people, great with numbers. Do me a favor. Come and watch me do a dress rehearsal of what I'm about to present in a few days and tell me what you think. And I did. And I did. And he's the hero of the story, which I'll save all the listeners the time of hearing. Basically, I encouraged him, abandon your strengths here, buddy. Connect with these people as humans. You're making all kinds of assumptions that A, they know what you're talking about, and B, that they don't have regular people problems. And if I were you, I would look more at outcomes instead of goals, etc. As I say, he's the hero because he did it. He wrote a bunch of business. His manager recognized it, said, geez, what did you do? He said, I got to tell you, I called my buddy, and his advice was sort of counter to everything I've been taught, but it made sense to me to connect on this human level and et cetera, et cetera. That guy called, and as we say, the rest is history. I got pretty busy pretty quickly, and that was over 20 years ago.
All right. You are one of only two certified experience economy experts. What is certified experience economy expert?
Okay. Great question. Thank you. So the line in 1995 or 1994, the thing I said that changed my life was I made this comment. I was trying to drive home this notion I had, which was that experience was different from service. And what I said was, clearly there is something going on at Starbucks that has nothing to do with the coffee. And if you look, service is about getting things in your hand quickly. Starbucks makes you wait, they make you line up, they kind of make your whole time there enjoyable and meaningful and memorable to you. Okay, that was 95. In 1999, the book The Experience Economy was published. Joe Pine, Jim Gilmore. I used to get asked if I wrote that book, if you can believe it. Did you write that? And only because I'd been talking about this idea of experience for so long. So the long story boring is this. I have read that book, and everybody listening should read that book. So many times I can get a copy off the shelf in a bookstore and flip right to the paragraph I want to show you. I'm a big fan of Joe and Jim and their work. I rolled all the way through, and in 2015, I went to school with Joe and Jim, and I took their certification. And it was just because I think at the time I joked, Seth, I said something like, I feel like I owe you this. Like I've used this, I've gained and benefited from this. So I am one of, as I say, only a handful of people certified by Joe and Jim as, I dare say, an expert in the experience economy. But I say that with a lot of humility, I assure you.
All right. Well, I'm sure the longer version of that story is probably in your book, or should be. So what are financial advisors, what is our industry doing wrong when it comes to the experience?
Like, how is it that you're actively participating in the commoditization of yourselves?
Yes, exactly.
Quickly putting yourselves literally out of business by being as irrelevant as possible. The biggest thing that everybody is doing is they are confusing experience with service, thinking they're the same thing. Let me set the record straight. What is an experience? An experience is time well designed. An experience is anything that makes you stop and look and that registers as a memory. Okay? What is a service then? A service is almost invisible. All service is designed to save clients time and money. Full stop. That's it. That's what it does. Check yourself out of the grocery store. Don't worry about the lineup, brother. Just Seth, we're open 24 hours. There you go. I'm open 24 hours. You can check yourself out. You don't even have to talk to a person. That's service. Experience is about creating time well spent. It is designed to engage the client in a uniquely personal way. So much so that it registers, as I say, as a memory. And ultimately, the purpose of experience is really to stage a series of sequential experiences, some of which to everyone listening would sound really familiar, such as a regular meeting with your client to update them on products, performance, or your forecasting for what's coming. That's an experience. However, put your experience versus service hat on. Service? Well, we just did it by Zoom. Seth, let me save you the trip to my office. Let me tell you the 5 things I want to know. Okay, pause. That's fine. That'll make you a living. But what if it was an experience? What if you coming to see me at my office wasn't just to get an update on information? What if it was something that you so looked forward to that you were saying to Mrs. Seth Green, I wonder what we're going to learn this time. What's Dennis going to do this time? Build a little bit of mystery, a little bit of suspense, a little bit of surprise. People will pay for experiences. Great. Experience just really means you're delivering a service with enough staged in such a way people are willing to pay more for it for a time. But the ultimate goal here is to stage these experiences in such a way that they lead your client to achieving their aspirations. $1 million, so to speak, is a goal, not an aspiration. Who your client believes that having achieved that will help them become, that's what you got to focus on. That's what experience is about. Where are we taking this client?
Okay, so tell me an example of that done right.
Okay, so I'll use my own advisor as an example. So my financial advisor has a niche market. And if you followed, read anything I've written about the stuff, I always talk about this formula, niche, weird. One niche isn't enough. You got to drill right down and get as specific as possible. My advisor works with successful business owners who work in intellectual property. Yeah. What makes us weird? None of us went to business school. Really? Yeah. Every one of us, like so many other business owners, went to school for something else. Somebody gave us an opportunity. We took it. We happen to be smart people, disciplined, et cetera. The next thing you know, we're successful. Okay, great. He handles all my financial planning corporately and personally, inside and outside of my business. We're still only talking about services. And it's not like I live in a city of 1 million people. Ottawa, Ontario, Canada is the capital. It's not like I couldn't find a financial advisor. There's one upstairs, okay, who would love to have my account. Oh my God, they'd be delighted. I found an X-sized account in the office below me, and he could help me with all my business stuff and all my personal stuff and education funding and all that stuff. And if he told me this is my fee and I just stared at him and didn't say anything, it's possible he'd negotiate it down for me without me saying a word. Even 1%, 75 basis points, whatever it would be. Here's what my advisor does. He knows a secret about people like me that he teaches us. And here's what it is. Every one of us who starts off with nothing and runs this show on our own, when we achieve our goal, there's a 70% chance we'll feel depressed. Really? Yeah. Because we feel like we paid too high a price to get it. His job and his purpose that runs his business is this: better men, better husbands, better fathers. I'm just saying men, husbands, and fathers because I'm a fella. I'm sure that he has lots of women that are clients as well. Be better women, better moms, better people, etc. But for me, it's like better dentist, better husband, better dad. Okay? Becoming financially sound, that's whatever. That just happens. If everybody lists their advisor and saves money every month and spends less than they earn, it's going to happen. The value and why I would never in my life change advisors is because my advisor has partnered in my life. I literally, and this is for everybody listening, I would literally say, hey man, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even know about this. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be having all these really long weekends at the lake. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be as present as I am. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be so relaxed. I wouldn't have this perspective. So everybody listening, finish that sentence for yourself. If it wasn't for you, your client says to you, I wouldn't even know about this. And if you don't have an answer, you got a problem. My advisor only works with people like me. In over 20 years, he's never had a client event. He's never had an investment seminar. Never. We talk about that stuff in his office. What he talks to me about is how to talk to your kids so they'll listen. He talks to me about life balance and harmony. Okay. He talks to me about trends in business and wants to know if I'm aware of them. He's connecting me to people all the time. That's an example of it done well.
Okay. So how do we go from thinking it's all about the money and doing our job about the money, and maybe if we've gotten a little bit more ambitious and desired to help a little bit more, then maybe our clients call us before they buy or lease a car. And
that would be amazing.
Right. And maybe they call us and ask us any financial question, not just about their portfolio. How do we take it beyond that to the point where they've got answers? If it wasn't for you, blah, blah, blah. how do you create that experience of it's not just about the money anymore? They're friends who are, we're having purposeful, scheduled conversations about all these other things.
Okay, great. Here's how you do it. So it starts with that first question, blah, 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 which is, okay, wait. What's a secret that you're willing to use your business to teach? I got a secret. Here's mine. I know how to solve every problem everybody has in their business with one approach. Okay. That's something I know how to do. Okay. And what do I know about my audience? I know that they really don't own businesses. They own jobs. They work too hard and they make too much sacrifice. And I know they're convinced there's a different way. Okay. So it starts with, if you had all the clients you wanted and all their trust and all of their business, what would you use your time with them to teach? What are you passionate about? That's the first. Here's the second question. What's the emotional outcome you want for your client? Another way to look at that is, what's the consequence of knowing you? Service is what you do. Experience is how you do it. Yeah. What's the consequence? How do you rub off on me? What's going to happen to me? How am I going to be indelibly changed here? You're going to leave an indelible mark on me. So what is that? Okay. Then here's the third thing that you do. You got to think about time differently. Okay. So again, we're fixated. Isn't it bizarre and worthy of like some jokes that most financial service professionals, when asked how could they create more value for client, the very first default that like they just default to taking themselves out of it? Isn't that funny? It's like, you'd be better off without me. Like they don't realize it's like, that's what you're saying. Okay. So think about time differently. Think about, I'm just quickly going to tell you these 5. Everybody might have to rewind this once or twice to get them. They all start with E: enticing, entering, engaging, exiting, and extending. The engaging in the middle, that's the main event. That's the thing you're building them to. What every person has to think about is this: on the enticing stage, weeks before they come to see me, informed by my, let's call it my theme, that secret I know I want to teach. What am I going to put in Seth's hand that makes him notice, that makes him think, I can't wait to meet this guy? Wow. What a question. What a question. Okay. How can you make it more fun? What do you want to teach them? 2 more questions. How can you momentarily shift somebody's sense of reality from one thing to another? I'll give you an example. How can you make them want to linger? The enticing stage, you generate some curiosity. If you were going on a vacation, the enticing stage would be cruising of, things online about what you can see, where you can eat, where you can stay, walking tours. It would get you daydreaming about, let's say, going to Greece, right? Oh, maybe I'll check this out. Maybe I'll eat here. It starts to become real. Same thing with client being an advisor. You got to give them something on the enticing stage that piques their curiosity. Entering, what does it feel like to walk into your office? Does it feel like I'm attending a professional meeting, or does it feel like I'm coming to an event that's just for me? How can you make it memorable? How can you make me walk in and look around and think, oh, I'm at something interesting? How could you use, I'm going to use the art on the walls. Oh, like hanging nice paintings? Forget paintings. What if they were big digital screens? You can buy a TV like this one behind me. This is 55 inches. I'm trying to sell it to you, Seth. Lightly used, Seth. I could ship this down to you. This television, I'm in Canada. This television is not the greatest brand probably in the world. I won't slam them. It cost me less than $300 delivered here. If I'm an advisor, you can have big screens like this all over your lobby. Imagine what would happen, Seth, if you walked into my office to meet me for the first time. Just think about this, everybody. Is this a memorable event? Is this an experience? You walk in, you look around, and everything displayed on the walls is something you yourself have either looked at or you want. It's very personal to you. And imagine if, unlike a regular office where you walk up and tell some stranger, hi, I'm Seth Green. I'm here to see Dennis. Imagine if you walked in and there was someone standing there who went, Mr. Green, I'm Susan and I work with Dennis and we're so happy you're here. We've been looking forward to it. Now you look around and you see all of this stuff. And then I come out and I make it a moment. Go to the engagement, same thing. Decreasing sacrifice, eliminating pain. What does it feel like to leave and how do you extend? Design time. Most people are always designing a moment to sell somebody something. They're trying to usher them to the transaction. I'm saying, make them want to hang out in your lobby. What a problem to have. Oh, I wish our meetings were twice as long. That's a great problem.
That
came
is
to the lobby, I hung
fantastic.
out.
There is a seminar in that last couple of minutes. Where can our advisors and agents go to learn more about you and the amazing work that you're doing?
Come to our website, Moseley-Williams.com, Moseley Williams.com. Take a look at what we're up to. We have this wonderful community we work with specifically. And in many ways, some of the people that I work with don't pay me. They just read blogs and read comments and contribute to the conversation. If you're a forward-thinking advisor and you are convinced that there is an easier, more enjoyable, sustainable, and authentic way to attract the clients that you're looking for and keep them forever, you have found your family. We're it. That's what we're all about. No push, all pull.
Beautiful. This has been Seth Green with Dennis Moseley-Williams of Moseley-Williams.com. Dennis, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, my man. I enjoyed it, brother. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening, and we'll see you or talk to you next time.